Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up for you. I hope you're getting ready. Buckle up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.4 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off 1.9%. Right now, 68,700 plus for Bitcoin, 2,400 plus for Ethereum, and 120 billion plus for USD Tether, and 35 billion plus for USDC. XRP 50 cents now at the number 7 spot. 0.8, we're off on the 24, and we're off 3.3 on the 7-day. The whole market is off, and we know that because today is the most important election in U.S. history as far as I'm concerned. We're ranging between 49 and 51 cents, and we know that what does the market do? Whether we're talking about traditional markets or whether we're talking about this new asset class of crypto, what does the markets do during an election time? They pull the money back and sit on the sidelines to see how things are going to go politically before they really get down into it for the next 4 years. And today is that day. It is a very, very important day, and I hope everybody understands just how important it is, and you go exercise your civic duty and vote. Vote for who you think will bring you the things you and your children and your children's children need. Link to, ladies and gentlemen, the home for private equity, the best home for private equity. Let me tell you, they have over 86 companies on the platform, and whether we're talking about Cerebras or Zipline, or we're talking about Uphold or Ripple or any of the other incredible companies on this platform, it is, in fact, a remarkable opportunity to have access to private equity. You can do that with the most affordable minimums right here on Link2's platform. You will not find that level of entry anywhere else in the private equity market. No question about it. Ripple Payments is live in Brazil, ladies and gentlemen. Brazil has regulatory clarity, and there is a genuine demand for crypto services for the biggest players in the financial industry. Remember now, we need to see that stablecoin, right? We need to see the CBDCs, hopefully, that are not invasive to the citizens of those countries that have them. But we need to see these stable coins and CBDCs because they will be the cars running on the new payment rails, right? They'll be the vehicles that move value. And the XRPs and the XLMs and the XDCs out here can be those bridge assets, complementary assets to complement the already FX market and stock market and everything else that'll be tokenized, right? The change is coming, and you're going to see that in this evidence right here. And I think what you're going to see is the institutions are gearing up. It is coming, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see it. We're just 3 days away from Jerome Powell returning to the podium. Once again, the world will be on edge of its seat. Someone should ask about gold-backed treasury bonds. Yes, they should. And here's a great interview from Gold Telegraph with the one and only Judy Shelton. Shout out to both of them. Look, here's what I'll say. Remember, they already cut a half a point, and he's coming out just 3 days from now. He'll either cut a quarter point or maybe a half a point again. And that is going to be favorable for assets in general, historically speaking. Now, take a listen to this, the Money 2020 event in Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear all about it, and Ripple too, because stablecoin is the talk of the town.
In Las Vegas. This is the year's flagship fintech event where the biggest names in payments talk about what's next for the industry. And this year, what's on everybody's mind is stablecoins, that subset of cryptocurrencies pegged to the value of a real-world asset, which is now virtually synonymous with the U.S. digital dollar.
I think what's really interesting at this Money 2020 this year is that everybody is talking about fintech. Everybody's diving into the stablecoin industry, stablecoin market. Everybody's focused on integrating finance and technology. It's finally come to this really big place where everybody's getting involved, the big players and small players.
This is going to be the first year where stablecoins actually settle more than Visa.
Oh, Did you hear what he just said? This will be the first year that stablecoins settle more than Visa.
All the big players, the small players.
This is going to be the first year where stablecoins actually settle more than Visa, which is mind-blowing to think about. And I think stablecoins and crypto more broadly have just become much bigger than most people realize. You still see a lot of like aha moments when you tell people how big the stablecoin market has gotten, how big crypto has gotten. You tell them 600 million people are already using crypto and their head explodes.
Stripe just announced in the last week that it wants to buy a stablecoin infrastructure company for $1.1 billion, an acquisition that many say is designed to help the $70 billion fintech giant diversify its way of facilitating payments.
Now, what do you think Stripe did that for? You think they did that because it didn't happen? Stripe did that because they know we're getting legislation, and the stablecoin vehicle is going to be the new car on the new digital payment highway. Protocols like the XRP ledger, baby. Write it down.
Right now, Visa and MasterCard dominate. They also charge a per transaction fee to a payment processor like Stripe. But with stablecoins, transactions can cost less than a penny and happen virtually instantaneously. This crypto payment rail has been gaining momentum and attention from some pretty notable names in the business. Earlier this month, Visa announced VTAP, or the Visa Tokenized Asset Platform, which is making it easier for banks to launch their own stablecoins. Blockchain giant Ripple is launching its own stablecoin, as is BitGo.
And let's keep moving there. So Money 20, the largest money financial event of the year, anywhere in the world, Ripple's in the conversation because stablecoins are. Come on in. Stay with me now. We're going to move quickly now. This is a reminder here that Ripple's also in the custody, and so is IBM. Ripple's, Medico, and IBM join forces, ladies and gentlemen, launching new crypto storage services for banks, fintechs, in a bid to diversify. Yeah, and why would they be offering those services to banks? Because we're going to get legislation. It's coming. And if we see the certain administration win, this is what's going to happen on day one.
On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman.
You're damn right. Remember, go vote today. And here's a number you need to know. Crypto has the #1 super PAC in the U.S. with over $200 million raised. Now you know where the confidence comes from when Bradley's telling you that we're going to be getting legislation. Because our government is a pay-to-play system. You put up the most money, you're going to get some legislation. That's how this works. It's not my opinion. It's the money talks and bullshit walks. And here we see some descriptions here of the real USD uphold for business-to-business customer payouts. Take a listen to this clip quickly.
The bet that we're making at Ripple, everything that Ripple does has very much of a compliance forward approach. As I think everybody knows, we've applied for a stablecoin license through Standard Custody and Trust, which Ripple acquired this summer. And our objective is to issue a stablecoin through a trust company, which is a significant differentiator. Our expectation is that that's really going to matter to the institutional community. There are a lot of people using the incumbents today, the largest being effectively unregulated, and people are really attracted to the liquidity, and that regulation doesn't so much drive their behavior, in part maybe a dearth of alternatives, but also just given how a lot of the investors operate, regulation is not at the top of their forefront of their mind. But Nancy, you touched on it. How much do you think being regulatory compliant is going to matter to this next stage of the evolution of the stablecoin market or crypto in general?
I think it's going to be super important. I think clarity is good. So clarity of how we can use it, what we can use, how we want to bring it to the market is always helpful. And I think, the industry would like clarity from the regulators. I also think that when we look at, we've talked about the retail side, when we look at our B2B side, we are really an infrastructure platform. So we can serve retail, we can serve institutions, we can serve enterprises. But what we find on the enterprise side is there are a lot of people trying to figure out payouts, right? Either trying to figure out this gig economy, trying to figure out cross-border payments. And so we have a lot of companies coming to us saying, hey, you have the technology for us to seamlessly be able to pay out, go cross-borderless, do all these things. And when we bring a solution to them, the idea that that solution is nicely regulated and follows all the rules, then it's easier for them to adopt. It's easier for them to put into their platform itself because they have responsibilities as well. So I think it fosters growth not only on the retail side for clarity, but I think on the B2B side as well, because people are more comfortable to get into the game. And I think that will foster the volume that we want to see.
Shout out to Nancy Beaton right there for that comment and remarks. And, you know, to her point here, talking about the real USD and business to business here, how will businesses really know to trust someone like Ripple and the real USD? Well, look no further than the 43rd Treasurer, Rosie Rios, right? She's on the board. Now, does any of the other stable coins out here happen to have somebody of note that high up, a 43rd Treasurer from the United States Treasury? Do they have that? Because that is the kind of confidence I'd be looking for if I was a business looking to get into the stablecoin game. You know, I think I'm going to go with the one that Rosie Rios is backing, right? You better believe it. Here is auto bridging. Now, look, I have this clip, and I'm going to reshare it, in fact. I actually did a quoted thing, and I'm going to reshare it so it's at the top of my page. I don't have time to play it, but you should watch all 6 minutes of this because Vet did a great breakdown and basically described the direct order books the way they look in the FX market, like euro against the dollar is the example. Well, then they create a synthetic order book that can be integrated with the direct order book, and voila, you have XRP synthetically put into the order book so you can make pairings using not just the FX pairings that exist today, but the integration of working in XRP as a bridge currency. And this is amazing. I wish I had time to play this whole video, and shout out to Vet for making it. But you should watch this video. It's at the top of my profile on X. Now, here's a quick clip from Jack McDonald here, the VP of Stablecoin RLUSD. Take a listen to this clip.
Share that vision, and certainly the bet that we're making at Ripple. Everything that Ripple does has very much of a compliance forward approach. As I think everybody knows, we've applied for a stablecoin license through Standard Custody and Trust, which Ripple acquired this summer. And our objective is to issue a stablecoin through a trust company, which is a significant differentiator.
So that just really wraps up the idea and understanding that today Ripple announced their acquisition of Standard Custody is now finalized. Remember, Tim Keeney from Standard Custody came from BNY Mellon, where he oversaw 25% of the global institutional assets. How about that one? So we're talking about a connection that has already been made to the legacy institutions and firms. This, I think, is going to go quite quickly when we get legislation. I can't wait. I'm getting so excited. But don't forget to vote, ladies and gentlemen. Came across this Singapore FinTech report sponsored by Visa, right? Which, by the way, is being outpaced by stablecoins at this point in payments, categorized Ripple under a regulated crypto service provider. Shout out to Subjective Views. Give them a follow. You can see the different categories: payments, regtech, wealth tech, digital banks, neobanks, insurtech, personal finance, data AI, and then blockchain Web3, lending, cross-border payments. You can see Neum's in there. Thunes, another Ripple partner there. And just moving quickly here, digital banking solutions, Finastra, Temenos, Ripple connections there. And then what do we see here? Regulated crypto service provider. Hello, Ripple. Come on in. I love seeing this. I mean, this is amazing. Let's keep moving very quickly here. JP Morgan's head of cross-border payments outlines the benefits and complexity of ISO 20022, and at this point says basically there are still some people that need to get on board, but the reality is ISO 20022, the coexisting phase ends 1 year from now in November 2025. In just 12 months from now, that coexisting phase will end. And that's why I'm reminding everybody right here that Swift, Ripple, and Citibank are in fact working together. We've been over this. And why is that important? Because as we move into that last year of the coexisting phase, Swift is moving to trial digital assets transactions on their network. This is going the direction we've all wanted to see. And the companies, the payment firms, the SWIFTs of the world, everyone is preparing for stablecoin legislation to be able to use these new protocols to move this value. They're not doing all of this because it isn't going to happen. Now, I know we all wanted it 5 minutes ago, but it's coming. Just hang in there. And you know what? Take a look at exactly when it may come. Look at this right here. Eggrag Crypto says, just do it, baby. Yeah, $1.10 ignition stage. If we go into this, we know we've heard about the $6.40 range, the $13. But if we just look at this, he's clearly saying here, we need to get above the $1.10 mark for a weekly close, not a daily close, not an hourly close, but for a weekly close. We get a solid weekly close above $1.10 and confirm it as a strong support. We can say goodbye to the $1 mark forever and hello to the conversation of $6 to $13 getting way more real. Come on in. All right, it's time to go into the Freedom Zone. It's not financial advice from me or anyone else. As I said, this is the most important election in U.S. history. I do believe that, and I hope you understand it if you live in the U.S. as well. We're going in today to discuss and have you hear just exactly why it is the most important election in U.S. history. I hope you will join us for next to nothing. digperspectives.com. Click the Freedom Zone and come on in.